Hey, what's going on? Just wanted to jump on real quick and just talk about not being tricked out of the position by the evidence of the 3D senses. A lot of times when we set out to achieve something new, we set a new intention to be, do, or have something that we haven't before. We immediately or shortly after experience resistance and what the Christian church would call spiritual warfare. Seems like all hell breaks loose, and we start receiving the opposite of what it is that we set out for. And so a lot of times people become discouraged, disillusioned, offended, and just give up, man, because it is very exhausting, it's very tiring, and especially if this is all that you have experienced, or you always experience it, it's enough to make a person want to give up because it seems like it's never ending. But what we have to realize is that a lot of times I think we have unrealistic expectations or entitlement to think that when we set a new intention that we won't ever experience the manifestations of the old, or we use that as a sign that we're doing something wrong, it's not working, or insert whatever. And I've learned to understand over the years and reframe it in that to use it as proof that it is working. And the fact that we are experiencing the opposite don't mean that, like I said, that it's not working. It shows that it is working. And I believe that we have been set up to think that it's kind of like Pollyanna thinking or magical thinking, to think that we won't ever experience adverse circumstances or contrary circumstances ever again. It's just not realistic. So we have to just realize and learn what's happening. And what's happening is that, like I said, we have neural pathways and more established neurons and dendrites, thought patterns. The Bible calls them strongholds. It's like a fortress or citadel of thoughts. And so we have those that are established for however many years and decades that we have been living that has got us to this point. And just because we embark upon a new journey, though, that don't mean that they go anywhere, especially not immediately. We're forerunners, we're forging a new path, so there would be more resistance. And so instead of fighting against it, the best thing to do is to accept it, the reality of what it is. This is what it is right now, but not submitting to the authority of that it is absolute or it's not the way that things will always be. And so once we are able to be at peace and understand that this is the reality up to this point, but I don't have to submit to it at this point any further or in the future, and we continue to intend in the face of the opposite circumstances, what we set out to do, instead of doing what 99% of people do, is to quit, get discouraged, or give up and faint, and then we just continue to perpetuate and ensure that the cycle continues.